Hi there, folks. It's me and my trusty whiteboard here because I want to draw you the napkin diagram that many of you have seen already, but this is the napkin diagram that is the very foundation of my conversations with my clients around indexed annuities and indexed universal life insurance. And as a result, many of you have adopted this diagram, and it's the foundation of your talk with clients around indexed annuities and indexed universal life insurance. Literally tens and tens of millions of dollars have been written by using this quick 3-minute diagram that is very, very simple. I like to use my whiteboard because I like to use yellow pads as I'm sitting with a client. So I want to demonstrate to you how you can demonstrate to your clients the very foundation of what it is that they're curious about. How does my money get credited? How do I not lose money when the market goes down, et cetera, et cetera. So let's talk about this. You know, Mrs. Client, when you put money into an indexed annuity, that indexed annuity is either going to have a cap, a participation rate, a spread. Let's just keep it simple and say that your indexed annuity has an 11% cap on the S&P 500. Now, what the heck does that mean? Because you're looking at me already, Mrs. Client, like I have 3 eyes. I promise you, it is very, very simple. And by the way, 11%, our number one selling indexed annuity today, does indeed have an 11% cap. So how does that work? Well, let's say that the stock market, the S&P 500, in this example, drops by 20% in year one. If you were in that stock market, you had a bad year, right? Well, let's say that the stock market redeems itself the next year and goes back up 25%. So positive 25%. Now, question for you. Negative 20, positive 25%. Are we much higher than where we started, considering we had to ride that roller coaster ride in the meantime? No, we're merely back to where we started. You see, negative 20, positive 25% equals 0. Negative 50, positive 100% equals 0. And folks, you can use whatever percentages you like. I just don't like to be overly exaggerative. So I say negative 20, positive 25. You are back to where you started. However, if you are in an indexed annuity with a 11% cap, and that indexed annuity was linked to this stock market, what would have happened over the last 2 years? Well, you would not have lost 1 penny of your money in that year where the market lost 20%. But then in the next year when the market went up 25%, what would you have received? You would have received everything, percent to percent, dollar to dollar, everything that market went up to 11%. So here you started with 100,000, and over here you now have $111,000, $111K. To take it a step further, what happens if the market continues to be volatile, as many expect that it will, as many suspect that it will, and let's say that the market drops, let's say 80% in that third year, just to exaggerate. What happens to your $111,000? You do not, again, lose 1 penny of your money in that year. You still have $111,000. Folks, this is very important. That third part is very important. I just mentioned this on accident in one meeting with a consumer, and they said, whoa, you mean to tell me that not only do I not lose my principal, but I also do not lose the previously credited interest? That's exactly what I'm saying. Mrs. Client, with indexed annuities, it is not about the amount of return on your money. It's not about getting 100% returns. It is about the amount of money that you are getting the return on. Again, with indexed annuities, it's not about the amount of return on your money. It's about the amount of money you're getting the return on. Folks, and that is the start. That is the foundation of talking about how these indexed annuities and IUL is credited. If we want to talk about riders on an indexed annuity, you still talk about this, but then you go on to part 2, which is another video.